Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 and Head Containment Specialist. And as always, welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. Now, as always, I am here with an open door policy once a day for somewhere between half an hour to 3 hours, depending on the day. And I answer questions to help illuminate, elucidate, educate you about your jobs here at the SCP Foundation. So whether it's questions about containing anomalies, or the staff who contains the anomalies, or the groups of interest who don't like that we contain the anomalies, or, very popularly so, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the Foundation's purview, whether it's because they're from a different multiverse or a pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. But as we get today going, let me start by saying hello to Dr. Puppeteer, today's first chatter, congratulations. And then Senior Researcher Frogman, Junior Researcher Sally, Junior Researcher America, Chaos Goblin Dogs, Scarlet Fox, Silent Follower. Is that Zerdrin I saw? I did see Zerdrin. Puppet Boy, Aoki, Phantasmic Jenny. To all of you, Billy the Go-Goat, Amber, good to see you guys in the chat right at the start, and thank you for being members. You too, Derek. Meanwhile, Darkest Light, I'm a Space Donkey Lol, Dr. Kami, and Ace of Gabes. Welcome to chat, just for being you. Dark Duality, good to see you and thank you for being a member. So, for today's business, I have 3 matters of business to get to. But before I do, I saw them coming in already. Turquoise 2000, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a flan on your way past the commissary. How would you contain Earth Mover from Ultrakill? Earth Mover, isn't that a giant, like, robot that is basically a facility? Ultrakill, Earth Mover. Yeah, okay, I remember this. So this is one of those things that's like so big that we basically have to cordon off several square miles of area and make sure no one goes in there. We'd have to put up some sort of anti-memetic field, like how Massachusetts doesn't exist, SCP-4006. We'd have to make it so no one wants to go there to witness the thing. Then we could deal with it using maybe SCP-5514, the Dragon Slayer. Unfortunately, we'd probably have to destroy such a weaponized mech like that rather than try to keep it and contain it. We might need the assistance of the Global Occult Coalition, which I always hate calling those gawksuckers, but you know what? When the time calls for it. The Thing, Rachel, Squishmallow, and Ohms Fan. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Now, Massachusetts doesn't exist? That's right, read SCP-4006. Massachusetts just straight up doesn't exist. If you think you live in Massachusetts, you're wrong. Sorry to be the one to break it to you. I'm not sorry, it's very funny. So where was I? Back to the chat. America, Junior Researcher America, thank you for your 1-month member message. We appreciate your membership and your service in the battle against the white names. Hey boss, how's it going? I'm overwhelmingly stressed. You know, I've had a busy day myself, answering work emails, all sorts of things going on around the facility, and something I'll tell you about in just a minute, one of our orders of business. But thankfully, I hope this office hours coffee break gives you a moment of respite, of calm. Find our zen, drink some water. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a milkshake on your way past the commissary. Just a quick hello and good night from me. Can't stay for stream tonight. That's fair. I am very late due to the work I was doing earlier, although I think you guys will appreciate some of it. So let's, but you have a good night and catch the VOD later. It's all good. Light Steve, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Pop Rocks on your way past the commissary. I'm going to draw... hello, my favorite YouTuber. You are amazing. Well, thank you very much, Light Steve. I appreciate your vote of confidence, and thank you for joining us today. Scarlet Fox, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some milk duds on your way past the commissary. I'm going to draw cleft bold. Only desk can stop me. What a moment for me to give you one of the pieces of business of the day, which is the desk will not be joining us. And so, chat, you're going to need to alert me if there's bad behavior from people coming into the stream due to the algorithm, because desk is on timeout. What had happened? What would happen? What did happen is there was a minor containment breach today. It was fine. It was fine. We got the anomalies. We put them where they needed to go. But then, late to the party, desk comes running out the door, smashes into one of the anomalies that was involved in the breach. Except the one that desk smashed into was SCP-008-J. That's right. Desked Jeff. How dare you? How dare you hit my boy upside the head with your desk-shaped body? Completely unnecessary. Jeff was just chilling. It wasn't Jeff's fault that he showed up in the middle of a containment breach. I did not appreciate seeing my boy get cold-cocked like that. And so right now, desk is in the most boring-ass tactical assessment seminar that I could cook up. I actually put a favor in with Site 17, and I got Dr. Gears to come run the seminar. So yes, desk is gonna learn to take stock of the situation before it body slams my bro. So when desk gets back, you can all yell, "Why did you fuck up my boy Jeff?" And remember, it's Jeff with a G-O, not with a J. So yes, that's one of our orders of business today, is to inform you all that desk is handling a seminar that I am laughing internally this entire time that I'm putting him through. Turquoise 2000, thank you for donating again. What rate would Gabriel Ultrakill be? Safe to Keter. Well, that depends on what Gabriel is. There's a lot of Ultrakill characters. Gabriel, Ultrakill, who are you? And what's your deal here? Main gameplay antagonist and narrative protagonist of Ultrakill. Gameplay antagonist and narrative protag. You don't see that very often. Oh, and by the way, before I continue this answer, don't worry, Jeff has a minor glancing blow at worst. Thankfully, Jeff's anomaly kicked in and was able to get away from most of the desk's body slam with only a glancing blow. But gotta be more careful, desk. So what are its abilities? What is this Gabriel's power? So that we know how to contain it. History in game. Do blue. What does he do? What does the anomaly do? I'm not seeing any powers and abilities. What is the thing capable of? Appearance, attacks. Okay. 2-string combo. Spear combo, katana combo, greatsword combo, twin axe throw, spiral swords. I'm not worried about any of that. Can it fly? Does it phase through walls? My problem is they don't give me enough clue of what it can actually do in these databases for me to actually give a good answer. Because I could just lock this in a room as far as I can tell. I mean, yeah, I would just lock it in a box. I'm not seeing anything that says it can't be. Euclid to Keter seems fine. In the game, Gabriel can fly. You put it in a box, it doesn't matter if it can fly. Humanoid containment cells don't have open ceilings. All right, back to chat. Lati, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Mr. Scum, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of chicken wings on your way past the commissary. Can you see the whistle occurrence? I have no idea what that is, and I don't see anything. So, no? Dandy Mill, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a large pizza on your way past the commissary. Have a great day. You too, buddy. Thank you very much. Derek, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Choco Taco on your way past the commissary. Director, no SCP versus SCP. Wink, wink today. Good to know. Wink. On a serious note, can the Foundation contain Calypso from the Twisted Metal game / show? He is very powerful. Calypso from Twisted Metal, you say? Calypso, Twisted Metal. Serving as host and orchestrator of the tournament. Offering the winner of the contest any wish, but often twist the wish in a cruel and ironic way. So, are you like a genie? You're granting wishes and things. Are you like a devil? What does it do? Wish granting, soul trapping, genius level intelligence, charisma, expert driving, shape-shifting, psychological manipulation, leadership, intimidation, deception, eloquence, vast wealth and resources, control over the twisted metal. So this is some teenager's edgy OC from the old days of SCP, where they would just, oh yeah, this is my really cool guy in a suit, and he's all powerful, and he grants wishes, but they're evil wishes. And by the way, he's not containable, but he stays at the Foundation for the fun of it, to watch the researchers squirm. That's this guy. That's this guy to a T. This guy got killed by Dr. Kondraki in Duke Till Dawn. Except in Duke Till Dawn, it was a vampire, and not so much like this. But yeah, SCP-343 is the current version of this on the wiki. We've all had OCs like that before. Damn right, Alki. We all have. We all been there. Evil wishes. That's right. So yes, except for Scranton Reality Anchors, I'm letting Clef decommission it. All right, where was I in the chat? Sheeny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a nice rum old-fashioned on your way past the commissary. Ever wonder if Havana system could be caused by an anomaly instead of the CIA like everyone thinks it is? Also, what up? Well, I don't wonder that because it's true, but the rest of the populace probably wonders that, yes. Mr. Scum, thank you for donating again. Can you see the whistle occurrence? Still no. Getting more worried now. Scarlet Fox, thank you for your first donation? Second donation to today's stream. Okay, second. Thank you again. Desk can also tell me no in the Discord. Well, if Desk watches the VOD, Desk will know whether to tell you no or not to a bald Clef. Anna, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself an espresso on your way past the commissary. Hi, Doc. Anna here. Just a quick donut to say hi. Me and Pinky are tired from work. I am also tired from a long day of work here at the site. I mean, just wandering Jeff over to medical, and medical's all the way on the other side of the site. But I wasn't going to let him walk on his own just in case. Jeff's going to be fine. That's what medical tells me. I just worry. Jeff's a cool dude. I don't want Jeff hurt. Momacat Nightlight, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. Turquoise 2000, thank you for donating again. What or how would you contain hell in Ultrakill? It's living and will spawn demons for entertainment. Well, that requires a lot of portal closures. Now, we would have... Scranton reality anchors are too big and cumbersome and expensive to build all over the place. So we'd have to probably have troops using Scranton reality ballasts, which are wrist-mounted. They're seen in the SCP live-action pilot episode for SCP Academy here on YouTube by Dark Math Films. If you haven't seen SCP Academy's pilot, you should check it out. It's good stuff. Cameron Fraser, welcome to Site 42. Membership as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. Mr. Scum, thank you for donating again. What if blank was an SCP? If you type in a language I can't read, I can't answer your question. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Junior researcher Sally, thank you for your 3-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. Is SCP-Y a power scaler? And don't look behind you. Well, by default, I have to look behind me because I'm looking into a camera with a screen and I can see what's back here. So, I mean, is it like behind me where I'm fine if I look in the camera? How worried should I be? Meanwhile, SCP-Y. What is SCP-Y? SCP-Y. 5789 is the designation on the wiki. SCP-Y is registered as a Class F info hazard. Proceed with caution. Numerals, ordinals, blah, blah, blah. Description. SCP-Y is a finite mathematical set of numbers. The most accurate definition of SCP-Y can roughly be defined as all numbers which do not exist. SCP-Y's existence is intrinsically tied to baseline reality. The anomalous effect of RGUY manifests when numbers of any value are associated with it. When a number is exposed to SCP-Y, the number is added to the set in question, causing it to cease existing. A number which ceases to exist is unable to be processed, displayed, or even conceptualized. This missing number can easily be overlooked, as the human consciousness will often fill in the missing data involuntarily. Discovery of the absent number will, however, induce some manner of mental strain and should be avoided if possible. First of all, I don't see how this can be a power scaling entity as described. It is just a set of numbers that contagiously makes other numbers not exist. Is there a person in there somewhere? Because my second answer is then, oh my God, what a headache when they, for a joke, they made the number 42 not exist for a week. We were having nosebleeds on site the entire week. It was horrible. The tissue paper budget was through the roof. But no, I do not believe that is a power scaling entity. And to the person who said, wow, you read fast, I've been reading SCP documents on this channel for 10 years now. You better believe I can buzz through reading some freaking technical documents nowadays. Ashley, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some gelato on your way past the commissary. Watching this from a U.S. carrier, CVN 69. Nice. Nice. Well, thank you for your service on the carrier. I'm sure you're part of some nautical mobile task force that's handling some sort of sea-based anomaly. We have plenty of those to do with, so just keep securing, containing, and protecting. Thank you for your service. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. So which anomaly is to blame for the whole Havana syndrome issue? I'd imagine there's several potential culprits. Also, I haven't been listening to videos on the topic while I work. You can't prove anything. Hey, you gotta be prepared for every anomalous instance. Easy peasy. And now if I just on a lark... All right, it looks like we don't have anything in particular on the database to say that, which means it might be of a higher classification level, but... No, hiccup, stop. All right, so you'll have to ask your on-site director if they have any intel on that, because on my database, it's not coming up. I'm looking in the chat right now, very confused. The screaming of why is flowers in the chat? What or who is a flowers? And I see that someone said it's related to the whistle occurrence. What is flowers or the whistle occurrence, and why are they in my chat? What is happening right now? I don't like anomalies and persons of interest coming into my facility. Oh, it's a Roblox thing. That's what you're talking about. I see, I see. All right, at least I've got that clarified for me now, and I'm not super confused anymore. All right. I will catch up with the donos and other questions in just a moment, but I have to tell you guys about the second occurrence of the day. So the first occurrence of the day is why Desk isn't here. Desk is currently listening to Dr. Gear's drone on and on about proper technical assessments in combat situations during a containment breach, because Desk checked Jeff, which made me very upset. So punishment is a class. It's pretty fair, I think. Now, our second occurrence of the day. This stream is sponsored, everyone. It is sponsored by friends of the channel VIPC Playing Cards. They're a group that makes SCP playing card decks with original designs. And so this time around, they're doing what they claim to be is probably their last set of SCP decks. But they're doing multiple decks, and of note is this time, Dr. Sherman made it in the deck. If we go to my community post mentioning this, that is the Dr. Sherman playing card. Some of you have derisively said that my stance makes me look like Sans Undertale. I don't know what you're talking about at all. But here is the rainbow edition of the cards. And here is the black and white version of the cards. And here is the white and black version of the cards. Also, Dr. Sumerian is in the deck. Also, Mike from Mr. Illustrated. Whoop, we're back. Mike from Mr. Illustrated is in the deck as well. And so there are multiple SCP doctors. You might have noticed, and in case you didn't, the artwork for the cards is being done in favored famous SCP artist Sunny Clockwork's design ethos. Meanwhile, last but not least, the Kickstarter for these playing cards started this morning, and they were fully funded within 30 minutes. So you can have confidence that if you decide to click the link in my description or social media posts, that you will be able to get your cards at a slight discount, and they will happen because the Kickstarter is already funded. So day one, 30 minutes funded. That's awesome for them. And so if you want some cards, now is the time to get some cards, especially if you want the Dr. Sherman card. They have not done this in any previous deck, And if they don't do any more decks, then this will be the only deck where it's available. So make sure to get it before they're gone. And thank you to VIPC for sponsoring Site 42 and including us in this deck. Yeah, considering in the past sponsorships, when we've done deals with like the vinyl figures, the Funko Pop kind of things, those never do very popular. Playing cards, people like playing cards, man. That's all I can say. That I did not expect it to sell out that fast, but they are pretty good cards. I have my set from the previous run. Pin the link. I can do that for you, Phantasmic Jenny. That is a clever idea, and I appreciate your looking out. Let me grab the link from here. And SCP playing cards with Dr. Sherman card. Link. Far too many. Oh, that's because you're doing that. Rude. Rude. Let me get a better link and then I can do it. It put a whole bunch of garbage in. Let me get rid of the garbage. It's Google, like, oh, you linked through Google, so I'm going to make you do a million things instead of just one thing. Stupid. Stupid, I say. Making my life difficult. Give me the real link. Don't mess with me today. Boom. See, that's more like it. So last time, thank you to VIPC for sponsoring the Site 42 community. And grab your cards if you want them. The link is now pinned. So, let's go back up to these donos real quick. Cypher's Girl, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a plate of flapjacks on your way past the commissary. Shermworm, your new nickname. That's not a new nickname. That is old as dirt. You go through life named Sherman, Sherm the Worm, and Shermy Wormy. These things come up among much worse nicknames. I haven't checked in a while. Why are you blue? Also, how are you? Well, the blue is because we're having fun around these parts. It's summer. We got to bring some color, especially since I was visiting the anime conventions. I thought it was fun to bring a little splash of color and celebrate. And also, doing pretty well. I'm almost fully recovered from my trip back and my first weekends back at work, and I'm getting things picked up with Site 42 for our next run of content. It's going to be fun. Bunny Lover, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a couple of marshmallows on your way past the commissary. I got an SCP-049 costume arriving tomorrow. Mwahaha. Just don't do the whole mixing yourself up with the actual Plague Doctor, because that could get our guards killed, and I don't like that. Please be careful. Boss Monkey, Antonio, and Coolman200, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Hello, did you not see my chat, sir? I've been forgetting you since 2020 or 2022. Well, it seems you haven't forgot me yet. But I'm happy to see you alive since you're my favorite SCP fandom. Please notice. Well, you have been noticed. Congratulations. I asked about the blue hair once. He simply replied, fashion. And it was a good answer. Still is a good answer. Fashion. Bread Sandwich, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some lunch meat to put in the middle of that bread sandwich on your way past the commissary. How powerful would an SCP that can put humans and anomalies alike in a trance and force them to play music so it can feed on their life force be? Well, that depends on its area of effect. Because if it's like, only works if the music is audible, you can put in earplugs and you're safe. If it works on everybody within like a 5-meter radius, that's not that far, but it means you couldn't go near the anomaly. We would have to build the site around it and stay away from it. If it were living, we would have to do something very bad to it, because then it could try and use those powers for evil. But not that powerful. There are workarounds when it comes to the music and trance and stuff like that. Jackal the Giant One, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a lemonade on your way past the commissary. And you didn't leave a message, so just enjoy that lemonade. Fur Freak, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some chicken nugs on your way past the commissary. If I want an SCP-1471 for life, but my phone gets taken away or dies, how can I keep her around? Well, it's an it. All Mallow entities are its. Mallows are objects, not people. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Anomalies are its. Don't humanize the anomalies. Also, will I be able to physically touch my Mallow? They are completely incorporeal. You cannot touch the Mallow. You cannot touch the Mallow. It is intangible. It is incorporeal. And yeah, if your phone gets taken away or dies, it's still going to follow you, unfortunately. So don't. Felix, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Frito chili pie on your way past the commissary. Hello again, it's your favorite husky anomaly. Just showing up for the daily checkup, and also I kind of made a fabricator that used antimatter. Well, where are we supposed to get antimatter? It's not exactly common. You could pick a more common substance, please? Nixie, welcome to Level 1 Research, or thank you for your Level 1 Researcher 3-month message. We appreciate your membership and your service in the battle against the white names. Hello, Dr. Sherman. The O5 gave me an experimental weapon. We trust the overseers. We believe in the overseers. The overseers would not lead us astray. Fur Freak, thank you for becoming a Level 1 researcher member here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Commander Shadow Stalker, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a key lime pie on your way past the commissary. Inquiry from Dr. Knight. Nope, that's the wrong person. Hey Doc, relay from the field. Retrieval Luna 2-1 actual has detained SCP-1000. Needs an in-situ resupply of the amnestic paintballs Volkov made, though. So listen, you should not be... Amnestic paintballs at a Bigfoot? I mean, they require such a large dose due to their biology. That's all you've got? You're in bigger trouble than I can name. Fall back and wait for backup. Jeez. Cameron, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a red velvet cake on your way past the commissary. Inquiry from Dr. Knight. Is an SCP's power scale measured by destructive potential, ability to break containment, or some other quality? So, all of the above. What you are interested in is called the ACS Guide. The ACS Guide is your guide to all of the classifications at the Foundation. ACS Guide for SCP. Anomaly Classification System is what it's short for. And so when you're looking at all the fancy diagrams at the top of newer SCPs, Containment class is your basic object class, safe, Euclid, Keter, etc., for containment difficulty. Then you have Disruption class, which is how much that this disrupts secrecy so that it's hard for us to contain people knowing about it. So it goes from no one is going to know about this, it only affects one person, to it affects a whole city, town, state, country. It's going to breach the entire world secrecy. So that is what we're doing there. And then a risk class is how much danger you are in due to it, whether it will harm you in one way or another. So between the three of them, we cover all of our bases nowadays. It's good to be thorough. Let me move that there so I stop messing that up. Hey Doc, if I get SCP-096 inside the Infinite IKEA and look at a picture of its face, can it escape and oof you? It's an it, not a he. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Anomalies are objects, not people, please. And secondarily, yes, it will still get you because it can sense where you are once you see that face in the picture. And because if you're on the other side of a door, it will know where that door is. So it will beeline to the nearest exit and get to you. It could be stuck there forever if no one looked at it, but it will eventually get out because someone will look at it. Donna Harvey, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Mentos on your way past the commissary, and you retracted your message, but thank you for your generosity anyways. Felix, thank you for donating again. I use bananas to fabricate the antimatter. I didn't know you could fabricate antimatter with bananas. I know bananas are radioactive. Banana antimatter. So, it's the same as radioactive. Okay. So I didn't realize that the radioactivity from bananas was also antimatter. That is wild. Huh. Mr. Scum, thank you for donating again. The whistle occurrence is a phenomenon on roadblocks. Thank you for explaining, although now we're caught up, and yes, I know nothing about that. I just watched the short film 096. It was epic. The 096 short film is very good, and in fact, it's one of my favorite ones because it spends enough time in the behind the scenes with the researchers and that interrogation. It's not just the soldiers. I like it a little more diverse. I like more character, and you don't get a lot of character from the soldiers in the field very often. And by the way, if you enjoyed 096, you might enjoy SCP Academy, because that is made by Dark Math Films. They're the people who worked with Mr. Clay on the 096 short film, so it's the same team. Chaotic Ender, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a blueberry waffle on your way past the commissary. Hey, should we be concerned about SCP-017 saying they are hungry? And what is their class? Also, I hope you're successful in making the tree scream. Oh, trust me, that tree will scream. There is no doubt about that. But along the way, the shadow person, you're saying the shadow person is hungry? It's never talked before, but I don't care. As long as we keep it locked up in that light, it stays where it is. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a BLT on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Herdham. Herdham. That's what you're going with as a nickname there. Oh, okay. Sure. How did you become a site director? Is it a fulfilling role? Oh, of course it's a fulfilling role. I am head of a site of the SCP Foundation. I am the bulwark of managerial class of making sure that humanity stays safe out there. Of course it's fulfilling. I mean, yes, it's also horrifying every day and very stressful, but someone's got to do the job, and I guess I'm the one who had to step up to the plate because the last guy died. What? Anyways. Marshmallow, Turmoil, Oscar, Bon the Cryptid, and Anna. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. 017 is threatening to eat me, please. It's locked in a room with the lights on. It can't get you. Stop worrying about the shadow person. Weird choice. That is a thoroughly contained anomaly. Unless the power goes out. And the generators won't let that happen. Ignore what happened in the live-action comedy short by Andrea Joshua Asnikar, where the generator at an SCP Foundation site went out and containment got breached. It is not funny. It is a real thing that happens to people, and people die when that happens. It's so not funny. What is that short called? So I can tell you not to watch it. It's traumatizing for SCP staff. Andrea Joshua Asnikar, YouTube. Yeah. The show is called The Switch. It's a 14-minute SCP comedy short that you absolutely shouldn't watch. It is rude to watch people in danger like that. It's upsetting, traumatizing. The Switch by Andrea Joshua Asnikar on YouTube is not cool, and you shouldn't watch it immediately after this stream. I see you putting it on your watch later. You stop it, you monster. Donna Harvey, thank you for donating again. There is an army of Play-Doh at my house. How? Is that where they went? All right, well, we'll come pick them up. They're not that dangerous. I mean, depending on what you've given them. Maybe I'll send some extra troops. Commander Shadowstalker, thank you for donating again. Clarification from Luna21 Actual. Amnestic paintballs are for the witnesses to SCP-1000's rampage after a hiker misidentified it as a skunk ape. Okay, that is better. That is better, but the question is the 1000 entity still rampaging? Have you got it in containment? Is it boxed up? That's what I'm really worried about. We gotta maintain secrecy here after all. Felix, thank you for donating again. Would a jellyfish piloted by a meat and bone mech be considered an anomaly? Because if so, guess what? You'd be an anomaly too. Every human is one. Well, obviously they're not anomalous because they're us. And we set the status for what's normal, thank you. That is hypocrisy? No, that's just life. Deal with it. All right. Honestly, I don't know which SCP is worse, 3999 or 231, content warning for 231. Well, they're worse in different ways. 3999 is obviously worse on its face because the most horrible things happened infinitely forever in as many bad ways as is possible. So obviously that is the worst one in theory. But 231 is bad because the good guys are doing bad things, and you never like that. So it depends on what emotionally you are more susceptible to, that's all. Courtney, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Chesta Factory. Crap. Thank you for donating multiple times, especially the Ko-Fi, which I missed the notification of. Please grab yourself whatever the hell you want at the commissary. You are free to go for that indiscretion on my part. Wish I could stay longer, but I do have an idea for clown milk Jesus. Oh no. It's summoned when someone eats a Bible that has been soaked in clown milk, and its followers drink a drop or two of clown milk, and the effects are delayed by a few days. But what does it do when it shows up? What does it do when it shows up? And now if you're doing it with the eats a Bible thing, then you're really going into like a parody of SCP-5991. So you're going to have to be careful and walk the line of making it enough of a craziness on top of what is already freaking crazy about 5991. That way, you don't have to... That way you can justify it as an article. It's tricky, but you can kind of get that. Dun, 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 dun. Dr. Sherman, you kind of missed one message while getting dragged into talking about Shadow Man. Yeah, actually. Nixie, now that you mention it, I see a message of yours that I clicked that I looked at, but I actually didn't look at it. Amnestics are a hell of a drug, man. They weren't strict with protocols either. They just told me to use it as any other weapon. As a mobile researcher, I see this as a win. Murder is fun. It depends on what you're murdering with it. What are you murdering with it? Because Chaos Insurgents breaking into the site? Love that for you. That's great. I got no problems. But if you're talking about anomalies, I'm going to be mad. If you destroy anomalies, we can't study them. So we do that only as a last resort, and for certain anomalies that duplicate, and certain anomalies that are too dangerous to keep alive, but not very often. Cameron, thank you for donating again. Inquiry from Dr. Knight. Does the practice of referring to SCPs exclusively as it apply to humans who qualify? If so, may I have a situation? So all anomalous humans, what we like to call X-Men, humans with powers, they are its as well. Anomalies are not people. If they are anomalous, they are not a person. That is a hard rule at the Foundation in most universes. In some universes, the ethics committee thinks it's cool, like hippies, to refer to them as their proper human pronouns. But in most universes, the Foundation does not humanize anomalies, because then you sympathize for them being in prison for life. Then you want to give them benefits, then you want to let them go. No! We do the bare minimum to keep them contained and not happy, but not wanting to escape. That is the way. Otherwise, do you know how much resources we would be spending? We're not a day spa. We're a horrible secret organization that's hiding anomalies from the public. Do you know how much work we have to do? How much money we already spend? The only anomalies that we refer to by their proper pronouns is when the ethics committee says, hey, look, for their psychological well-being, you need to refer to them by their proper pronouns, otherwise they might breach containment. In which case, sure, then it's part of the containment protocols. Or if they are a trustworthy, loyal anomaly to the Foundation, so loyal, so trustworthy, that they get upgraded to a staff member position or maybe a mobile task force agent. Then they can have their damn pronouns back. Donna, thank you for donating again. Why can't I stop eating? Has your stomach turned into a black hole? That happens around here sometimes. Is any of the SCP gay? Newt? The SCP Foundation is a creative writing community. There is a lot of gay packed into that foundation, believe you me. In fact, there's a tag for it. If you go to any page on the SCP Wiki, then on the left-hand sidebar, you're going to see something called tag search. And you can put in LGBTQ, and you can see all of the anomalies that are listed with the LGBTQ tag. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the tag cloud instead of the tag search, so I can see how many are tagged for posterity. On the SCP Wiki, there are currently 346 SCPs and Tales tagged as LGBTQ for your future reference. Whew. Felix, thank you for donating again. I made a device to find the original lab where I woke up from. Hopefully I can find some more answers. So I'm going to use my hidden warp gate. Is it like a big warp gate, like a Stargate, like it's hidden somewhere? Or do you have like a Jack Harkness bracelet transporter thing? What kind of teleporting are you doing here? Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, what would be the most embarrassing nickname for you? Cotton Candy, Smurf Man, Bluey, Shermwormy, or Blueberry? Well, I don't find myself particularly embarrassed of any of these nicknames. I mean, again, I grew up with the name Sherman. I have had so many nicknames over my day. All of them ridiculous, and I still came out of it okay. So there's got to be something about the sanity meter here. That said, of these, I guess the most embarrassing would be like Smurf Man. because it's the closest to Sherman outside of Sherm-Wormy. And Smurf Man might have a Dr. Sherman Smurf mashup, which might be silly. Kind of like Hot Shermay Miku or Shermiku. I am so bored. Ragu, Dylan, and Call Me Hugnar. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. All right, so, Donna, thank you for donating again. My son went down a slide, now he's missing. Oh yeah, you gotta watch out for those parks, man. Those children's parks with the park benches where you sit down, you're in another dimension, or you go down a slide and you're in another dimension. Oh yeah, you gotta be careful with those parks, man. But yeah, we can have security throw a line down there and see if if your son claws its way back. All right, holy cow. We are 50 minutes into this 90-minute stream. So there are 40 minutes left in stream, and I'm just now finally getting to get to the third subject of today's stream. And now I'm getting cut off by another dono. Felix, thank you for donating again. I come back and I'm holding a bunch of VHS tapes. What the? The tapes say I was an experiment for a type of cancer immunity serum. I'm scared. That's a weird thing to test on a sapient husky anomaly. That I would not test cancer serums on that kind of anomaly. Someone's making weird choices for their research. Who is the youngest SCP in the facility? I mean, I think we have a honkin' baby. Do we have an SCP infant? I'm pretty sure we have an SCP infant. No, I don't want the tag search. I want the search. Infant. I mean, SCP-1048, it's the extras that it makes. Those are freshly born, so those are brand new, newborn. Actually, yeah, we don't have a lot of newborn babies, so I'm going to go with 1048 being the youngest, just because every time a new one spawns, that's the youngest one. Remember the book that has all the diseases written down? What if you gave that to someone who couldn't read? So, Intern Hewitt, here's the thing about the Book of Common Diseases. A lot of people have curiosities about this book, and a lot of them have different questions about it after I dropped a video on it earlier this week. So, A, if they can't read it, nothing happens. But the problem is, the people around them tend to get weird and paranoid, and so we got to watch out for that, because it seems to have some sort of mass hysteria, which is why we won't be having any AIs scan or read it as well. No robots, because it affects everyone around the book regardless somehow. So, just no means no. That book is staying in its box, and we're not pulling it out. Dark Duality, thank you for reminding me that you did a Ko-Fi because I missed it. Thank you for your first donation of today's stream through the Ko-Fi as well. Grab yourself a cider on your way past the commissary. Saw a strange kid crying sitting in the hallway. Did you let a warfin run around? Looks malnourished and unwashed. Could it be a skip? Strange crying kid sitting in the hallway. That does sound like a lost warfin. You know, okay. Don't move the warfin. We need to bring a canine unit by to sniff it. Because the perfectly normal trench coat worn by an adult, SCP-018-J, has gone missing. And I have a hunch, no, not 018, or it is 018. Is it 018? Yes, SCP-018-J, a perfectly normal trench coat, has gone missing. And I believe that somewhere around the site is about 16, now 15 warfins running around in a lab coat looking, for all intents and purposes, to be an adult. So we've got to hunt that down so they don't escape. We can't let the Wharfins get loose. And maybe that Wharfin that you got there, we can use its scent to hunt down the rest of them. And then we just have to convince the team that when they find the other Wharfins, that it is in fact the Wharfins and not a normal adult in a trench coat, despite the fact that that's the anomaly. History lover, Dr. Sherman, why do we have minor SCPs? No. The minors are not SCPs. The minors are D-class. We need D-class children to test the D-class, the child-affecting anomalies. We can't test the child breaker without children. Did you think of that? Come on, use your brains. I mean, if we needed puppies to test the puppy killing game, then we would do that for puppy D-class. But we don't, because that thing, thankfully, makes its own puppies, so we don't have to use the resources on that. Donna, thank you for donating again. I have Play-Doh things as pets now. No, we're going to take them. Don't get attached to them. Don't name them. They're coming back to Containment, right, whether or not you want them to. Spades and Fredbear Gaming, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. No, Dr. Sherman, don't kick the baby. I'm not going to kick the baby. I'm just going to put it in a room with a dangerous anomaly and see what happens. It's called science. Felix, thank you for donating again. From what I gather, the subjects were once human. So many failed corpses in the body pit of that lab. Who was I? Was I human once? Who am I? Yeah, we've all had our social, mental breakdown over our identity while we work for the Foundation for one reason or another. Oh, am I a fictional character written by an author on a higher pataphysical level? Yes, now get over it and get back to work. Speaking of pataphysical authors in the layer above us, is the SCP Foundation real? Why did you ask that? Intern Rodriguez, regular Sherman, my author from the pataphysical level above me, wants to inform you that the SCP Foundation is just a fun creative writing site and that all of it is fake. We don't pretend to be real because of the Slender Man stabbings and things like that, because impressionable kids stab their friends if they think the spooky thing is real. So when people ask us if it is real, we drop kayfabe so that we do not misinform the children. I hate it when he talks through me like that. Don't forget the guy who was fooled by an AI to think SCP was real. Oh, I will never forget that because it's the funniest thing I've ever heard. If you didn't hear what Senior Researcher Frogman is talking about a month ago, the day I was flying onto my trip to go to MetroCon, I saw on the news that a San Francisco Bay Area tech entrepreneur had held himself up in his house, completely isolated for weeks. And when he came out, it was a video on social media where he was unveiling the dark truth about the deeper than the deep state. They are recursively removing people from social media, disappearing them. 12 people have died because of this recursive removal from society. They're doing this, and I know who they are. I've been talking to my chat GPT, and it's told me all of their secrets. And all of the secrets were documents in the format of the SCP Foundation. This AI read the SCP Wiki and spit out conspiracy theories at these dudes, and he bought it. Literal cyber psychosis. And we don't even get cool-ass metal arms with guns in them. No, we just get tech billionaires getting schizophrenia from talking to Chat GPT. It would be even funnier if it wasn't so stupid and an impending doom upon all of our lives. That there's just unchecked mental issues. Zerdrin, I want you to be careful with that. And I want you all to be careful. Everybody who has ever got sucked into a cult said to themselves, I'm too smart to get sucked into a cult. Everyone who's been scammed thought they were too smart to be scammed until they got. And the way that AI chatbots pump you up and compliment you on whatever crazy thing you say so that you believe in them because they affirm your prior biases, it gets the most clever people. Maybe this tech billionaire guy, entrepreneur, wasn't an idiot before he got involved with the AIs. I don't know. But nobody is immune to these things, man. This is the real life SCP Foundation cognitohazards going on. So be careful with those things, man. I don't even use them. I do not trust them a lick. Also, they just make shit up and hallucinate. So you're not even getting real information from them half the time. No. Dr. Sherman, don't forget the third part of the stream. Psst, don't forget the third part of the stream. You're right. There was a third part of this stream. So all right, donos, I will get to you, but we're 30 minutes left in stream. I need to at least do a little of this. Otherwise, the title of the stream is a lie. So I promise I will get to all the donos, even if I got to stay a little after. But first, thing number one of today's stream was Desk hurt Jeff. Now I am punishing Desk by having him go to a boring seminar. Very funny. 2, the stream is sponsored by the cool SCP playing cards. They're very nice quality. I have my own set, and I look forward to getting a set that have me in them, because the Dr. Sherman card, despite looking like Sans Undertale, is very cool, especially in the glowy version. Did you see the glowy version? Because that's the one I like. I am the kind of person who I have lamps with rainbow lights that go in my living room because I like these rainbow lights. So when I saw this rainbow version of the Dr. Sherman card, oh yeah, that's where it's at. And so, with that, I will be getting myself a set of these as well. But thank you to that company for sponsoring us with these cool playing cards. And now finally, the third part of the stream. We need to look at least at 5 more SCPs today. And those SCPs, we're going to see if they're power scalers or not. Because yesterday we went 5-0. No power scaling entities detected yesterday. And I want 5 more. So, I'm going to go through 5 of these. I promise all of the donations that come in during the section, I will get to them. But we're going to look at 5 SCPs and see what kind of power scaling they aren't. So, random SCP, do you work today? This is a staff placeholder page. Please refer to this page for further information. Why is there a staff placeholder page in the randoms? Let's try again. No, now I'm only getting the placeholder page. For some reason, the random SCP button is broken and it keeps bringing me to the same page like it did yesterday. Okay, I guess I'll just pick a random SCP. So, let's hit the number generator. In between 1 and 9,000, we got 2458. What, pray tell, is SCP-2458? Search. SCP-2458, codename Music Hath Charms. SCP-2458 is a cello not dating way back, that was weird of me to say. Cello dating back to the early 18th century, consistent with the works of luthier Giuseppe Guarneri, with expected Asian wear. The instrument has been restrung within the past 40 years. When played, SCP-2458 causes individuals within earshot to make rhythmic movements and vocalizations in tempo with the music. The movements are specific to the piece played, but typically involve head nodding arm waving, and incoherent murmuring. The player of 2458 is not affected, nor any ensemble performing with the player. Live broadcasts carry the effect, but playbacks do not. So it has to be live music. We're getting into SCP-096 tier of distribution through broadcast. Prolonged or repeated exposure to the effect of 2458 causes extreme distress in listeners who develop melophobia and stereotypic movement disorders. So if you listen to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star played on this cello, you'll bob your head to the music, and the D class being bad at playing it caused the effect to stop. Now we got a D class who can actually play cello, and they play Bach Cello Suite Number 1. Listeners demonstrate more complex movements, standing and bowing, followed by kneeling, assuming a stance common to Catholic prayer. Listeners chant Kyrie eleison 5 times during the performance, which I think means go with God, if I'm remembering that right. Listeners afterward express further distress at loss of motor control. After Shostakovich's cello concerto, listeners were agitated right at the start. When it began, they ceased resistance and tapped their foreheads in unison. At 6 minutes and 17 seconds, one D-class diverted from test protocol and played an impromptu dissonant piece. One D-class poked out his own eyes, while 2 other D-classes strangled each other. So, and it's related to On Mount Golgotha. Of course it is. Okay. I think we can clearly say that 2458 is not a power scaling entity, which makes this 6 to 0. 6 to 0, I believe. Let's continue on. Can I hit random? Will it work this time? No. Random number generator number 2. SCP-648 is our next SCP. SCP-648. Next up, its codename is the Labyrinth. So SCP-648 is a hidden entrance of a blank hedge maze near data expunged. So they redacted the name of the hedge maze, and they data expunged the location. God, people were so weird with their redactions back in the day. Although no official record of the entrance exists, evidence suggests that 648 was incorporated into the hedge maze shortly after its construction. When subjects enter the maze, they are displaced to what appears to be an extra-dimensional space separate from the real maze. Anomalous properties have been observed. Blocks all radio transmission, has a size inconsistent with the hedge maze. Obviously, it's extra-dimensional. That's just how it goes. The maze occasionally shifts. Of course it does. The maze is in a perpetual state of twilight with no discernible sun, moon, stars, or other celestial references. Exploration teams have encountered living creatures within the maze. So, it's a maze. It's not a power scaling entity. 7 to 0. 7 to 0. No power scaling entities. I'm going to 8. I'm going to 8 here. SCP-3167 is our next anomaly. 3167. Okay. This might be our first possible power scaling entity, at least by name. SCP-3167, codename Character Assassin, or the Serial Killer. So, SCP-3167 refers to a pataphysical entity which manifests in narratives which share a single common universe or protagonist, such as a novel series, canons of short stories, or larger mythos works, i.e. the Alex Cross series by James Patterson, the Sherlock Holmes canon by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and the collective works of J.R.R. Tolkien, respectively. SCP-3167 appears to act independently of the intentions of other characters within the narrative, apparently seeking out a single character for the sole purpose of murdering them. The appearance of SCP-3167 varies from narrative to narrative, but its manifestation is announced by a variation of the phrase, "The unusually tall figure with a horrible white grin raised its weapon, ready for the kill," appearing. The weapon specified is the most variable factor, but it's consistent with the setting of the narrative, i.e. thaumaturgical items are exclusively used in fantasy stories, while lasers are rare outside of science fiction narratives. In the space of a paragraph, the target character is assaulted by 3167 and murdered in a graphic but narratively logical fashion. Upon the death of the character, 3167 exits the narrative, an event announced by a variation of the phrase, "The deed was done, the figure had collected their latest kill, and turned a new page in their life." Individuals who perceive narratives in which 3167 manifests are affected by a persistent perceptual anomaly in which they believe that the character murdered by 3167 is completely absent from works which occur at a later point chronologically, i.e. a character that dies may appear in a prequel work, but will not appear in any sequential works. While individuals affected by 3167 can still perceive installments of the work which take place after the death of the character, they will insist that it is wildly different from the canonical narrative. However, individuals are unable to read passages verbatim from the apparently altered works. Currently, over 5,000 individual volumes have been affected by 3167, mostly English-language works. So let's see who died. In the Judas strain, which is from the series Sigma Force, Monk Kokalis was killed. In the Fellowship of the Ring from the Lord of the Rings, Gandalf the Grey was murdered by SCP-3167. At the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, 3167 replaces the Balrog, manifesting as an unusually tall figure with a white flame-wreathed grin, with a flaming whip in place of its weapon. Gandalf attempts to hold off 3167 in a manner identical to which he defeated the Balrog in Fellowship, but is sliced in half by the whip. Gandalf's final words are whispered to Samwise. He has the eyes of Luthien. Effects. Boromir does not die at the end of Fellowship, and instead reappears alongside his brother Faramir in the Two Towers, along with Frodo and Samwise, etc., etc., etc. Harry Potter dies in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Northern Lights of his Dark Materials, an unnamed gobbler died. Huh. And it regretted killing the gobbler. Oh, and by the way, Harry Potter was killed, manifests in the middle of the Goblet of Fire ceremony, and proceeds to kill Ron with the Avada Kedavra, the killing curse, before apparating away. Ron's death is not immediate. Oh, I'm sorry, it didn't kill Harry Potter, it killed Ron. I read it wrong. Killed Ron Weasley. He manages to drag his way to Harry and whispers, "He said he had your birthday," before dying. Okay, my bad, it was Ron. In Sword Art Online Aincrad, it killed... It didn't kill anybody? In fact, what it did is it seems to have killed their internet's capability to play Sword Art Online. So it killed the video game Sword Art Online for some reason. It killed Sherlock Holmes. But then we get a whole transcript of something there. Oh, it killed Mobile Task Force agents because it broke into the fictional SCP article and went meta on us. So, yeah, okay, structurally I like the meta bullshit. I'm okay with that. Could they get Murphy Law, though? Honestly, I think we have the first entity that could be seen as a power scaling entity. Because this thing's going in, it's killed Gandalf, killed Ron Weasley, killed one of our Mobile Task Force guys. Murphy survives. Murphy is not killed in this article. I wonder if there's a Murphy Law 3167 crossover article. But, yeah. Honestly, although I'm gonna make a disclaimer. I obviously do not think that the author, IHP, wrote this character to be a power scaling entity. I obviously do not believe that they did this on purpose. But could this be construed as a power scaling entity? I think it could. I think it could. So I'm going to go ahead and, as long as it could feasibly be mistaken for one, I'll let them have it. So here is our 7 and 1. 2 more left on the table. 2 more left on the table. Let's see what we got. Picking a number. Picking a number. 3611. Okay. What is SCP-3611? The Yamauchi deck. The item is an antique deck of hand-painted Obake Karuta playing cards bearing non-standard iconography from Japanese and European sources. It is accompanied by a lacquered mulberry wood case with a brief description of its contents inscribed within. Said description claims the deck is intended for play under an obsolete Kyoto variant of Obake Karata known as Seren Ishu. In English, 1,000 poets, a single verse. While research has yet to uncover much written evidence of the game's existence, its rules have been passed down through oral instruction from Ms. Yamauchi Aiko, born September 17, 1932, the sole surviving descendant of the item's creator. Play proceeds similar to a conventional game, with the aim of the game to clear the table of all cards based on cues given by a referee. However, Senren Ishu is intended as a cooperative game instead, whereby claimed cards must be rearranged towards the center of the play area to construct a coherent story. Given the deck's sheer volume and the play area's limited size, this usually results in the cards arranged in a spiraling pattern towards the center. As in conventional Obake Karuta, the game concludes when all cards have been exhausted. There are legal and illegal plays. Should all moves played be legal, the players will find the additional card has been manifested, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I'm not even sure what the anomaly is of this weird card deck. But I don't think it'll power scale. So I'm saying that's 8 and 1. I'm saying that's 8 and 1. Sam Plays Games. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. All right, guys. Last of our power scaling or not game of the day. SCP-1254 is our grand finale. SCP-1254. Paper People is the code name. Detail, a description. SCP-1254 is the entire stock of books in a redacted bookstore in redacted California. While SCP-1254 appears to be a set of standard books on the outside, closer examination reveals the interiors of the books have been cored out to construct several miniature civilizations. The inhabitants, dubbed SCP-1254-1, were miniature humanoids that were nearly identical to normal humans in every respect except for size. Their average height was approximately 5 millimeters. So, books that have been cored out and made as decorative homes for tiny paper people. I love this. This is adorable, but it says were, so if something bad happened to them, probably like the paper dragons. Distinct civilizations corresponded to a number of different genre sections in the bookstore. The knowledge base of each civilization possessed also corresponded to the types of books they inhabited. Sci-fi section showed more rapid pace of technological development. Fantasy section largely remained in the medieval era. Non-fiction section was the one mostly closely correlated to the current time period. There's definite proof that these civilizations were aware of and interacted with each other with border books exhibiting a blend of various architectural styles. This is freaking adorable, and I love this. Until a fire burned down 99% of the anomaly at the bookstore. Forensic analysis suggests that the fire started in the young adult section of the bookstore. Trace radiation readings, as well as the remains of various, you saw nothing, various type of weaponry suggest the fire was started as a result of a miniature thermonuclear war between one or more of the 1254 civilizations, which proceeded to wipe out the entire population of these little guys. So of course, it was the young adult section that ruined it for everyone. Ah, you darn young adults with your Hunger Gameses and your Divergents and your Twilights and your 50 Shadeses, which is just Twilights again. I am just joking, of course. Young adult reading is great. And I mean, come on, the SCP Wiki is basically as young adult as it gets. So I'm only ribbing you politely as a joke. But so yes, that is our 9-1. Only one anomaly is possible a power scaler, and it was 3167. So, I have fulfilled my obligation to the stream title. We have 10 minutes left on the stream. Let's go. Cameron, thank you for donating again. Mobile Task Force, Azraeus 0, unreceptive to IT label. Send help. They're not even a canon group. They can suck it up until they get on the frickin' task force list. I'll tell you what. Flare Ultra, Chase, Nickel Pickle, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dark Duality, thank you for reminding me of your Ko-Fi, and thank you for donating again. Cremator Guy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot pickle on your way past the commissary. Which would win, SCP-173 or a Left 4 Dead tank? So, Left 4 Dead tank can bash through concrete walls. 173 is a statue made of concrete. Who do you think's gonna win? Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, if I tag you in a TikTok video, do you respond? It depends on if I see it. There's 3 million followers on TikTok, so those notifications are a mess. But I peek once in a while. I may or may not see it. That's a hard one. Sorry. That's the pains of having a follower count. Felix, thank you for donating again. I got done seeing the last VHS tape. I was the last subject. Why did the scientist say he was out of subjects? What was the last resort, he said. Those must have been some very short VHS tapes. Like the Undertale tapes of the Dreamer family short, where it's only like 3 sentences of conversation. Because you watch those real fast. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Sorry, I was wrong. The kid is not a Warfin. It is SCP-1076. SCP-1076, you say? The only child. Instances of 1076 appear to be children between the age of 3 and 5 with an unwashed appearance and long matted hair, barefoot and dressed in ragged clothing. Specimens seem to comprehend simple statements but have not displayed any signs of verbal ability. Initial encounters occur when a parent discovers the child in a state of apparent distress. Incidents occur in isolation. There are no known cases of any third-party witnesses. Subjects report pitying the child. Once established in a home, 1076 begins to monopolize the attention of the parents to the exclusion of their own children. I hate that. Good old replacement behavior. An infestation typically ends with the deaths of the parents and other caretakers as they neglect their own well-being in order to attend to the child. So, yeah, let's put that in a box and not let it follow anyone home, please. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. More for the chat than anyone. If y'all think this is real, I'm assuming you mean SCP, you are doomed when it comes to internet misinformation and AI. Tighten up! Okay, rant over. Yes, tighten up. There's all sorts of bullshit on the internet right now. Please, critical thinking skills. Do your research. And don't do your research by asking an AI, because they're obviously going to say you can trust them, even though you can't. Also, by the way, we are 6 minutes to the end of stream, and you guys have 260 likes to 209 viewers. That's right, you got the likes count above the viewer count. Congratulations, Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codename The Signal Boosters. I salute you in your effort to drag people into Site-42 and the greater SCP fandom, kicking and screaming if we must. Present Mike, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some takoyaki on your way past the commissary. Hello from Alabama, Dr. Sherman. Can I use SCP-10345 to make the video game Skyrim, Elder Scrolls V, or Pokemon real? Love what you do, stay hydrated. I will stay hydrated, although I will stay caffeinated as well. And what do you mean SCP-10345? That is not in our documents. that we're only in the 4 digits. There is no 10345. What do you mean? I need more details. Do not make any video games real, please. Basan Player and Epiphanic Cube. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Felix, thank you for donating again. My workshop has time dilation when unobserved. Well, isn't that nice for you? I have to get drunk with a bunch of people on Anomalous champagne to make that happen. SCP-8675-309, aka Tommy Two-Tone. I like it. Jenny, I got your number because I'm spying on you. I know that you're anomalous. 8675-309. Lock that person in a frickin' box. Anyways. Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating again. Bye, Sherm. I gotta go Photoshop your face on SCP-173. That's gonna be weird. But okay, thank you for your member message to tell me about your weird plans. Is there an SCP site that is an SCP? SCP-1730. What happened to Site 13? That's right up your alley there. Alkermones, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing, and welcome to your first stream. Although it is coming to an end, we do daily streams, as we have for the last 4 months and 5 days. We have had a daily stream every day. We have not broken the streak. The streak is sacred. It will probably break one day, but that day is not today, and it is probably not tomorrow. So, welcome to the end of stream, where traditionally I try to educate you guys on the ins and outs of the SCP Foundation. I educate, illuminate, elucidate about anomalies and our staff and our practices. And traditionally now, at the end of stream, I tell you guys about my favorite SCPs. That way you can go give them a read. But of course, the SCPs that I personally wrote for the wiki, I'm not going to say those are my favorite. That's cheating. Of course, I love the SCPs I wrote. They're great. And hey, if you want to read them, you can go to the Sherm's author page and Site 42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see all of the SCPs that I personally wrote, and on the next tab over, there's some links to support Site 42. You can become a patron or a YouTube channel member to support us once a month. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat if you want to donate one at a time. Either way, financial donations are, of course, the most direct way to help us out. It helps me support my moderators, both the Discord and the YouTube chat, as well as our video editors, who have taken a nice vacation over the last little month while I wasn't busy, so I'm going to have to send them some work to get them to catch up. But we all appreciate you helping us keep the lights on. Furthermore, if you are part of the broke gang and you don't have the money to donate, which, believe me, I make content for an arts community. Artists, universally broke. It's kind of our thing. The Starving Artist moniker exists for a reason. But if you are here, liking, sharing, subscribing, chatting in the chat, commenting on the videos and watching them, then you are still an honored and valuable member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename the Signal Boosters. And with your algorithmic help, we will drag YouTube's algorithm into a funnel that will bring us more SCP Foundation prospective fans. And once they're in, they will help us to support the SCP Wiki, its authors, its artists, its game devs, its filmmakers, merch makers, animators, any SCP project. We can help it out as Site 42's Signal Boosters. So I appreciate your service to the cause. Yusuf, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. So, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning for that last one, it's a doozy. Speed round, 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175-5320, and 8980. Content warning on the last one. Got a couple extra questions and donos in here before I log off. Does anyone know what time stream starts every day? No one knows what time stream starts every day because I don't know what time stream starts every day. They say consistency is key for a YouTuber, and I am being consistent by streaming every day. But that doesn't mean I know when it's going to be. Life around the Foundation is very hectic. There was a containment breach just this morning, and so you never know what tests you're going to be running, what D-class you have access to. And so the key is to have your YouTube notification bell on, or if you're in the Site42 Discord server, in the roles area, there is a YouTube live alert role. And I ping the Discord live alert every stream to alert you guys when we're going live. So that's how you find out when we're streaming, because that's how I find out when I'm streaming. Present Mike, thank you for donating again. SCP-10345, codename Reality Writer. A fictional SCP that functions as a book allowing users to write things into reality, according to the fan-made SCP's wiki. Okay, so it's a non-canon SCP, I see. Reminder that the only SCPs that are canon to the SCP universe are on the proper SCP wiki and its international branches. Please do not trust a fandom wiki or a fan wiki or a... What's that one with an A? It's not aluminum. It's not Albion. Amino. It's not an amino. Don't trust the aminos. Don't trust the fandom wikis. Otherwise, I will not have a clue what you're talking about, because here we stick to the canon SCPs. That being said, in a non-canon way, still don't make more anomalies for us to deal with. Jiminy sakes. Felix, thank you for donating again. I got done fixing the last tape. Why did the scientists go into the same pod I went to? Wait. Oh no. Oh. Ooh, you did the science on yourself. How traumatic. I told you, you really need to start writing all this down. This is quite a lore you've got going on. I hope you're keeping track of it all. You can make a story out of this. Is there an SCP that can move molecules and atoms? I'm moving molecules and atoms right now. Come on. Got him. Logan Lala, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a chicken cordon bleu on your way past the commissary. I found a video of a man completing the Cotton Eye Joe ritual. Please be from another universe. 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 We do not want to be around when we find out where he came from and where did he go. We do not want to be present for the return of Cotton-Eyed Joe. And with that terror overcoming my life, I'm going to go look into that and make sure my universe is safe. And that is the end of our stream. So, as always, I have been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site42, saying farewell from another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. All that I want is to wake up fine. Tell me that I'm alright, that I ain't gonna die. All that I want is a hole in the ground. You can tell me when it's alright for me to come out. Hard times gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times gonna take you down and laugh while you cry. These lives, and I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times, and I gotta get to rock bottom Jar Jar Binks, thank you for your very last moment donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Twix on your way past the commissary. And no, SCP-8980 is still alive, and Dr. Burns needs to be put in lockup. The end credit song, as if most of you weren't singing along already knew, was Hard Times by Paramore. Be safe, be well, and I'll see you all in the next stream.